Welcome to another exciting episode of Caravan of Love right here at City Star TV. We are still on our love journey, and I am your driver. I am your host for the show. Nanaya is my name, and I hope you subscribe at this point because if you haven't, you're really missing out. So please do so. Just there, right there, the subscribe button is right there. Please hit on that and subscribe. And this is episode 13 of Caravan of Love. Now, if you remember on our previous episode, we talked about how to know if you are in love, how to know if you're in love with that gentleman that you think you're in love with. And I gave you 10 points to actually help you know that you are in love with someone. Now, some of you may have checked and you realize that you feel that same way or you have those same reaction or feeling or emotion towards more than one man. I know I sense a scandal too. But here's the thing, it is possible. Yes, I mean the answer to the question you're asking yourself, can I be in love with more than one person? I'm telling you, the answer is yes. It is possible to be in love with more than one person. So how then do you know the you're not just, maybe you just like the other one too much, but this is the one that you love? How do you know that you truly are in love with more than one person? Let's say there are two men in your life. How do you know that you love them both and you just don't love one and like the other? I'm about to give you five key things to note. And if you are actually having that kind of thing, the very 5 points I'm about to mention, if you're going through any of it, then actually you're in love with more than one person. So, my point number one is you're afraid to commit to one person. And I'm not talking about just one guy. I mean, those two guys that you think you've fallen for. You're afraid to commit to one. And it's not about the commitment, it's more about the fact that once you commit to one guy, you have to let the other person go. It's more about losing the other guy because you realize that you don't want to lose. So let's say you have guy A and guy B. Now you don't want to let guy A go and commit to guy B. And you also don't want to commit to guy A and let guy B go. It's like you want both of them. You don't want to actually, when A is getting so serious about you, it starts to scare you a bit. You get afraid because you're about to, A is being serious, and you might actually want some, real commitment to come from you. And that will mean that you have to let B go. And you're not ready to do that just yet. Or you know you cannot do that. And likewise, vice versa, B wants to commit and be serious with you. And the thought of doing that with guy B, knowing that you have to let guy A go, it's really scaring you, then you know that you feel the same way about the both of them. You are attracted, you are, if you felt the 10 points I listed in our previous episode, that means you are in love with those two guys, and you just, you don't know how to deal with it just yet. So you are actually in love with the two guys. And my point number two is you keep mixing up your fantasies. I mean, 1 minute you're fantasizing about being at the beach with guy A, and it's like halfway through that fantasy, you just end up at a gym with guy B. And you're like, how the hell did I get from here to there? You rewind your fantasy, you try to stay because it's guy A's moment. Today I'm cruising with guy A. And then guy B says, hi there, here I am again. I mean, you keep mixing up your fantasies. You just don't know who to think about at a time. You're thinking, because you always do with that. You're thinking about them a lot, but you're thinking about the things the guy A likes to do with you, and somehow guy B shows up. Or you're thinking about being at the places you like to go with guy B, and then you get there, and somehow guy A is already there waiting for you. You just don't know how to let your mind focus on one person at a time. It's like they are both occupying your mind at the same time. You keep mixing up your fantasies. You can't even seem to get that one straight because they both keep being there at the same time and don't go the threesome way. So that is what is happening to you right now. Then you know that you feel the same way about the both of them. You feel the same way about the both of them if you keep mixing up your fantasies. And point number three is that even when you're with the other person, you're thinking about the other one. You think about the other person in the presence of the other one. So let me not confuse you. What I basically mean is you're with guy A. It's your time with guy A. And somehow you're looking at him, you're talking to him, you're spending time with him, and guy B is up there. I mean, he keeps popping up. And sometimes, even when A is talking to you, you seem to zone out because you're thinking about guy B. And this doesn't only happen when you're with guy A. It goes the other way around. You're with guy B, and it's your B time, and you guys are hanging out trying to do something fun. And then guy A keeps popping up in your head. I mean, come on. Can they both stay when it's their time? I mean, when it's your time, then you show up. But they keep showing up interchangeably. When you're with guy A, B is all over in your mind. I mean, he keeps running around and running around and running around, and you can't help but think about him. And when you're guy B, A keeps popping up and keeps popping up. It's like, can I be with both of them at the same time? Maybe that will solve your issue, but do not. It's like, can I be with both of them at the same time? Maybe that will solve your issue, but do not under any circumstances try that, because obviously they're both going to know, and that is not a good thing. So if you're having that kind of problem, then you know that yes, you're in love with two people, you're in love with more than one person. And that brings me to point number 4. Point number 4 is, you know how when something exciting happens to you, and you want the person you love to be the first person you talk to? Yeah, now picture this. That exciting thing happens and you pick your phone and you don't know who to call first. I mean, am I calling A? Am I calling B? A, B, A, B, A, B. A, B so much you can't choose. You probably choose a third person. I mean, you decide to call a friend, your girlfriend or your best friend or something, because even though you want to tell one of them, you just can't seem to know who to break the news to first. You don't want A to be the first person to get the message. You don't want B to be the first person to get a message. It's like somehow you wish you could tell both of them at the same time. You don't want them to not be the first person to get a message. But you can't. You can't talk to them simultaneously unless you're going to call them on 2 different phones and be like, hi, this happened to me. So you give them the information both at the same time, which is possible but not advisable. So you're going through that right now. You can't decide who to tell that exciting thing to first. And the most frustrating, I mean, that thing basically ran through all my points. The most frustrating part of it all is the indecision. The indecision. You can't seem to decide. That is point number 5. You just can't choose. You just can't choose. You can't. I mean, I want A. Okay, so A is great. Let's list the pros and the cons about being with A. But then on B side, B is amazing, B is awesome, B is great, B is fun. But A is also amazing and awesome and great and fun. And oh my God, my head is going to explode because who do I want to be with? How can I want 2 people at the same time this badly? Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, sister, but you are in love with 2 people at the same time. You're in love with more than one person at the same time if you're experiencing any of the things I said about, because it's going to be on equal grounds. The minute you feel more about somebody, then you've actually made a choice. If you're willing to talk to A first and have B wait, obviously A means more to you than B. But if you actually have this sort of thing where you just can't choose who to make first at the expense of the other, you don't want to make this one second and you don't want to make this one second, you want both of them to be first, but there's only one space for a first, then you know that you are in that kind of fix. I hope you're able to actually feel different. I hope you're able to make a choice. I hope one of them feels the same way about you, I mean, come on. You, and at this point, the best thing to do is to find out who actually is into you. That might help make things easier so you can actually make a choice. So I hope you're able to make a choice, find some peace, calm down the chaos that's going through your mind, and then choose a partner that you can keep happy ever after. This has been Caravan of Love. Thank you for staying tuned.